Good morning, everybody. This is Stephen Howson. This is Full Time Devils, and this is your MUFC Daily. Thank you for joining us this morning. We've got loads to talk about this morning, some mad ones and some pretty sad ones as well. So let's get straight into them. The first one that we've got is Victor Lindelöf has been linked with Chelsea after his massively linked move to Manchester United doesn't appear to be coming off. And I think the reason for this not coming off is exactly what we saw about a week ago when we were talking about Sports Witness. Sports Witness had basically pieced all the pieces together, and they were saying this deal was looking to come from the Portuguese side. There was no involvement from the United side. They'd basically gone, hey, United, do you want to sign this guy? And then they was pushing it in the press to try and make it happen. Actually, there was not really much interest from United, especially once they started talking about £38 million fee for the guy, and when they was going to try and screw over his Swedish team and all the rest of that stuff. So United was kind of like, actually, we're not that interested in the guy. Maybe we'll leave it, especially with the good form that some of our defenders are in. So it looks like, especially when you see some of the rest of these transfers as well, it looks like Benfica are really trying to press on and sell some players. I don't know if they're in financial trouble, but they are trying to sell all of their best assets, which is a bit strange. So it seems like now the Mirror have done the job of linking Lindelöf to Chelsea. They're seeing Chelsea like recalling centre halves like Nathan Ake from Bournemouth, and they're looking at them thinking that they need other players, and this is the sort of signing that they think, oh, that might work for Chelsea. They play 3 centre halves. I suppose they could always do with an extra one. But when you look at the wording in the article, the guy's basically shouting, I have no idea what's going on. They're like, oh, he might sign for Chelsea, or it would make sense if he. Forget it. They know nothing. They're just complete guesswork. It does seem that Benfica are looking to push him, and somewhere like Chelsea that's going to pay a decent fee for him is going to be the preference. But this is a player that Middlesbrough was in for $500,000 last season. Why is he now worth 80 times that? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Anyway, the next one that we've got is, according to the Express and the French papers, Guedes, I'm sure I'm killing that pronunciation. If anyone can help me out with the pronunciation on that one. Guedes leaving Benfica to go PSG, and he was linked with us as well. Again, Manchester United have just hired 50 new scouts. We will be at every single top flight game in Portugal. That doesn't mean that we're linked with all these players. What that means is we've got scouts out there doing their job. We're building database on footballers. We are not signing every single person that we scout. We are literally just stacking up what we know about them. We might be scouting people to see where we are in terms of ability. We might be going looking at people and going, actually, have we got a good squad? How do you know if you've got a good squad? Because then you have to compare it to everything else that's out there. So maybe we're doing scouting on the back of that. So we can't be linked to every single player that's coming out of Portugal. That makes no sense whatsoever. And I think this Guedes was one. He was always going to be going elsewhere. But link him to United, that's a sexy name. That gets clicks and everybody comes and watches. It's absolutely ridiculous. Sounds like he was going PSG all along. But they have to throw our name in there so everyone clicks it. Otherwise, why would anyone from England be clicking on an article about a Portuguese player going into a French team? Doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it? Here's one of the sad ones. Sean Goss to QPR, 500,000 seems to be the agreed fee. Sort of broke in like West London Press yesterday a little bit. Sky have also reported it. BBC reported it. The offer was there on the table, so it looks like Sean Goss is going to go. A lot of people thought Sean Goss could be the natural successor to Michael Carrick from the academy, myself included. He was one of the first ones named by Louis van Gaal on the bench when Louis van Gaal was going through his spree of naming players. Him, Tuanzebe, Rashford were all sort of named on the bench around the same time. Sean Goss went on the tour to America, got his debut over there in a friendly, was taken to Wolfsburg on the bench where he didn't manage to get on. So he's been in and around the first team, but over the last year or so he's had an injury which has kept him out of action for the 23s and for the first team, obviously, whereas Marcus Rashford didn't get injured, didn't have any problem with it, managed to take his chance and get himself straight in there with his first team games, and then never really looked back, has it? But I do think Tuanzebe and I do think Sean Goss could have been exactly the same sort of situation if they'd have been given the same opportunity that Marcus Rashford got. It's all about taking your chances. But it looks like this one's really going to happen, and there's a line that I saw yesterday which I'm going to steal and I'm going to use and I'm going to like it, and that's Ben Pearson and Sean Goss. Ben Pearson obviously left United for a nominal fee. I think it was nothing, to go to Preston a couple of transfer windows ago, where he's absolutely tearing it up. Bullied the Arsenal midfield all on his own in that first half against against Arsenal in the FA Cup, and Ben Pearson and Sean Goss will go for 10 million on their next transfer. That's how good that them lads are. They will both go for big money when they move from the clubs that they've just joined, be that Championship or wherever they are. They will both at least definitely end up in the Premier League, and they will both go for crazy sums of money when they do move. And the last one that we've got is Sergio Romero. Now, Sergio Romero probably knows a lot that we don't, but is he letting on that he knows a lot more than we think he knows in terms of what's happening with Big Dave? He's rejected Boca on loan, and he says he wants to stay and fight for his place. And you're like, stay and fight for your place? Do you really have that much chance of getting a game for Manchester United? He thinks he does, so he said he wants to stay and fight for his place. He's made 16 appearances for United in his career so far, and he doesn't want to go back to Argentina. Even though he's risking losing his place in the national team, he would rather stay and fight at United, which I think is very interesting. Let's get your guys' comments up, and let's see what everybody is saying in the comments. Nico says, I think that we need an older defender to start mentioning Tuanzebe in the first team. He'll show a lot of promise. Better version of Phil Jones, yada yada yada. Yeah, I think if you went with another defender like a Tuanzebe, you're looking, if your first choices are like Rojo and Bailly, then you have got quite a young centre half partnership there, and maybe that's not a good thing. You do want those older heads. Should we buy Arden Robben? No, I don't think so. I don't think coming back to the Premier League at the age that he is now is going to be a good idea. Do I think a return for Andreas Pereira would be a good idea after that's going well too fast? I think Andreas Pereira has absolutely tore it up, but people saying that he's going to be a first choice starter when he comes back, it's probably a little bit premature, but he's definitely put himself in the mixer and definitely put himself in the conversation, so fair play to the guy. He's really had a great loan, and unfortunately he's the only one who's had a great loan. Although I suppose Joel Pereira had a great loan as well before his recall, so we'll see. Ashley Williams would have been good. I don't know if you're taking a piss or if you actually watch this a lot and agree with what I was saying, because Ashley Williams, I was saying for a long time, a massively underrated centre-half, one of the best in Europe outside of the players at the top teams, and I don't think he's proving anybody wrong there at Everton. Brilliant defender. They got a better deal there by letting Stones go and getting him in, definitely. Jose needs probably rested Marshall for Hull, probably. Thoughts on Jose Font to West Ham? Not really got any thoughts in all honesty. De Gea going for Cruz. Ooh, Jonah, you might hit up on something there. I hope not. But I think this is going to rumble on forever with David De Gea until he retires or the end of time. He's been linked. He obviously wanted to go, and I think that's going to hang over your head at every single transfer window. And whenever their manager comes out and says, actually, I wouldn't mind him, it kicks off again, doesn't it? It's a nightmare. Someone like Saul would be great, says what? Ryan Whitney. I agree. Good footballer. Excellent footballer. Wanyama for Carrick. Isaac. I disagree. I think they're entirely different footballers, and I don't think Wanyama's got a distribution level to replicate somebody like Carrick. I think Weigel's more closely linked to that. I think any chance of Adnan Januzaj coming back, says Nitesh. I won't ever rule a young player out, but I don't think it looks great for him at the moment. Royce and Griezmann, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Someone quick that's run at you, and Antoine Griezmann in the middle would be mint. What about Paddy Evra to Crystal Palace? Where's that come from? That was going around last week. I don't think that's happening. Why would it? I could see him leaving Juventus to come back to Manchester United. I can't see him leaving Juventus to go to Crystal Palace. Come on, sort your neck out. Di Maria, question mark. What? Don't just put a player and a question mark. I'm going to ignore you. You need to ask me a question. Matic instead of Carrick. I think that's a decent shout. I do think Mourinho's going to go with someone a little bit more physical than Michael Carrick when he does try and replace Michael Carrick. I think that was evident with the fact that we were trying to go for Kante in the summer as well. So I would keep your eyes peeled for that. Bakayoko might be a shout. He might give it Fosu Mensah. All he needs to do is give him a chance. Someone, I can't remember, couldn't see the name there because it went so fast, but someone said, should we buy Van Dijk? I don't think you're getting anybody out of Southampton now. Fonte's gone. I think they'd be crazy to let another one go. So I would have think that ship sailed. We all know we ain't getting anyone, so let's just laugh at Arsenal. Think they're getting Griezmann. Rio to coach, says Bushy. Maybe. I know he's done his coaching badges, I think, or he's doing his coaching badges. He speaks with a lot of sense, actually, Rio. I think he might make a decent coach, yeah. Marshall situation, says Deepak. No, it's paper talk. Papers are trying to get at Manchester United and rattle us. There's no issue with anybody like Shaw or Marshall. Mourinho's managing the squad. Simple as that. Everyone can't play, so relax. What about Manolas? What about him? What's the question? Shrey says Rooney departure to China. That's another one that's going to rumble on, I think. I can see it happening. I really can. At the end of the season, not January though. I'd be amazed. Swap Fellaini for Shaking Stevens. Fellaini's going nowhere now. He's just signed a new deal. If Griezmann comes, should he play winger or striker? I think you'd probably play him on the right hand side of the free, which then means like, what do you do now with Marshall? What do you now do with Mkhitaryan? A lot of questions to be answered. Would I get Alexis? Yes, he's a hell of a footballer. Can Jose get the squads? What was that? Right with Europa incoming? Probably not. I think Europa's going to really hinder our league progress. It's no coincidence how we've gone undefeated without any distraction of Europa League. I think you can sail through Europa without it really affecting your league form, but I don't think we will. We need a young Zlatan. I think you could go with a different style, and Marshall's style might be that style to play number 9 in all honesty. Do I rate Nainggolan's haircut? Never. But each to their own. Will Januzaj ever make it to the first team? I don't think so. Alexis Sanchez on a free. You're not getting him on a free. We don't need a replacement for Carrick. We can use Tuanzebe. Have you ever seen Carrick or Tuanzebe play? They play totally different football positions. What are you talking about? That's like saying we don't need we can sell De Gea because we could just play Rooney there. In fact, no, that's a better shout because Rooney actually can play in net. Madness. Clivert as a 17-year-old son is looking a great talent. Should we get him? I think he's not going to be reaching the same level Clivert reached, but I think he's only just made his debut, so maybe not. Semedo is a long term for Valencia. Maybe not. I'm not 100% sure that he's got the defensive qualities. He's definitely got the going forward qualities, but you really need to know how to defend as to be a defender. I know that sounds quite obvious, but a lot of people seem to forget about that and just like looking at how players are on the ball. Your midfielders and your forwards have got to look good on the ball. Defenders have got to defend first and foremost. Bakayoko for Carrick, says Ambrose. Bakayoko I'm really a big fan of. I think he's someone whose physicality could really help us. Bale for 100 million, says Riley. It'd cost you 100 million. I would love a Bale, but I just don't think he's going to leave Madrid for a while now. I did think he was going to. Now I don't think he's going to. Who's a better prospect squad, United or Dortmund? That's interesting. I think their prospects are getting games. And ours aren't, unfortunately. Eric Dyer to hold in midfield. Come on, man. We can do better than that. Should we try and win the Europa? No. We've got to get in the top 4. Bakayoko as a replacement. Yes, obviously. Morning, Callum. Could I ever see Pogba as a captain? Not sure. We don't really have a lot of characters, do we, that could be a captain. I remember teams of years gone by where there were several players who could have been captains. Do I think we'll get James or Muller? I think James is a proper Woodward style transfer, but I don't know where he would play. He's in the same sort of mould as like half of our team already, so he doesn't come in and fill or solve a problem for me. So I'm going to say no. Thiago Silva? Oh, no. Varane? No. You're not going to get someone like that out of Real Madrid, I don't think. Wood Marshall? Oh, these are going really fast. Can't see them. Anyway, thank you for joining us. I'm going to be over on Insta Live in a second. So head over there and I'll see you over there in a minute. Thank you for watching. We've got all sorts of stuff coming out this week. We've got Hull on Thursday, so make sure you tune in and check that out. See you later.